Yeah, 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 because we were just trying. I don't know if you can log into the account and see. We were just trying to add things to get familiarized with the system.
Uh-huh.
But I feel that we need a lot of training.
Sure. All right. Well,
All
great. Well,
right.
that's why I'm here.
Okay.
So, what I actually, let me share my screen. I have a thing called, we have what's called a product planner for onboarding. And
Okay.
with this, I have some homework for you.
Oh, nice.
So, as your coach, what I'll be doing, working with you, we'll do several sessions. This is in our last session. This is our
Okay.
first one, but not our last. Um,
Okay.
and what we do is we do these like weekly, usually, to kind of give you chance to go in and test it, play with it, learn, familiarize with the system, and then when you have questions, then we can go over those in our next session or go over different contact or topics in the system.
Okay.
So let me show you what this is all about. I'll just give you a brief rundown of this. This is called our product planner, and I have labeled this. I made a copy, and this is going to be yours, the 7397. And
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and share this with you. I
All
thought
right.
something
Mhm.
thought it was interesting. You go by Ron, but your email is Randolph.
Yes. 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 Absolutely. There's a story behind it, but for now, yes.
Okay. All right. Let me put that in here. Let's start. There paste. There we go. All right. So I'll send this to you. You'll be an editor of this. You can do whatever you want with it. If you want to delete tabs, just delete the whole thing if you want.
Okay.
But so how this works, there's several tabs here. This first page is built in two phases. The first phase is the overall platform, just the overview of the system. And then the second phase is diving into a deep dive into like the pricing, materials, workflow templates, things like that.
Okay.
The rest of this is all kind of support tabs for this main page. Two ones that I really focus on is the Q&A tab and the to-do list tab. So again, as the editor, this is your document. You can make changes to it. So you said you had one other person you wanted to be on this meeting. We could also add them to this document as well if you want.
Okay.
Um, so as an editor, you can just share that with them and just add them as a person. Then here, this Q&A tab is where if as you're going through your day and playing around with ShopVox and you have questions, is you can maybe post them here because, you know, I'm the worst of this is I'll have some question and if I don't write it down, I'll forget it.
Right. Right.
So
Pretty much.
yeah. So, write your questions down as you think about them.
Okay.
And if you get a lot of them, I mean, you can always email them to me directly, but it's always good to have a record of them here as well.
Okay.
Second is the to-do list. The to-do list is just things that you may want to remind yourself to do and then give yourself a target for those. Um, so just put those in there and like for instance, import your customer list or connect to QuickBooks or set up your email templates or whatever
Okay.
the case might be.
Okay.
Now, a lot of the rest of this over on the far right, there's like workflow, top 10 products if you want to fill those things out. But the
Mhm.
rest of this on the tail end is called the product planner section. And this is kind of an Excel spreadsheet that breaks down our pricing templates in ShopBox and how the pricing mechanism works. And this last one is specific to it's for a banner product planner. It's a banner setup right there. And this was actually used in, if we go back to the first page, in phase two, it was used in this demo video. So if this, again, this is after you've kind of gotten familiarized with the overall platform, then you would jump into phase two. But if you want to watch the video, hey, that's great. But what they
Mhm.
did is two of our coaches, they did a scenario of one played the coach, one played a customer, and they built
Okay.
a banner product from scratch. Now, we already have a banner product in the system, so you don't have to build things, is we have them already pre-built. This is just to kind of explain how the interface works and then how you can edit and make changes to products. So there's that. As far as your homework is concerned, there's this intro video that you can
Okay.
watch. It's just a brief overview of the ShopVox platform. It might answer some questions, but it just goes through the basics. And then this getting started article. This is part of our knowledge base that's actually resident within ShopVox. So where you would find that, let me go to my ShopVox account. It would be under the help docs here and documentation. As a matter of fact, these usually will be highlighted so that's getting started. Actually, let me refresh this. This is the other database. It should say ShopVox Pro and ShopVox Express.
Hmm.
But let's see. But let me show you. So this getting started article is like a compilation of a lot of different elements within the program. So there's an
Quick
icon
question.
to her. Yeah, go ahead.
Just to follow up to what you just said, is the platform that I currently have access to, is that the Pro or is it still the Express?
You are on Pro. Yeah, the server will still say, it says Express up here in the URL,
Mhm.
but you'll probably notice that you've got a lot more icons. If you have this funnel icon, then you know you're on Pro because that
Okay.
doesn't exist in Express. Uh,
Okay.
the reason why it's labeled this way is that's just the name of the server. And
Hmm.
so all of our accounts are hosted on this server, and then you have a unique account within this server. And so we did that so that when we have customers like you that started off in Express and then they
Hmm.
wanted to upgrade to Pro, is it was in the same server, and so we just had to switch the lights on basically
Pretty much.
and
Okay.
convert it. Yeah. All right, so back to this getting started article is this will explain a lot of things like how do I add team members? Because you might only have yourself in there currently. What are roles? What does that mean? Um, Profile, your profile, setting up your email settings is in there. Um, Interfacing with your accounting software. If you're going to connect with QuickBooks, this is how you do that if you haven't done that already, things like that. Building a product in talking about the different things there. Your first order. This is a really great guide for learning how to create a quote, then create a sales order, and then add jobs, add proofing, things like that. So again, this is a great go-to for when you're just getting started. So, so that is the product planner. And like I said, I shared it with you. I'm going to leave all of these things unchecked and so I watch this, then you check it. I understand, I'm using this, you can check that. I know where it is. I saved it as my favorites or whatever. Um, and you can make notes on here. So you put your name here, Ron, and maybe the other person that's helping you with your setup process, just so I know who I'm working with. If we're having meetings down the road, and maybe it's just you or maybe just that other person, however the case will be. So.
All right.
Any questions?
So far, none.
Alrighty. Um, where do you have any specifics or things that you would like to cover or go over today?
Um, yeah, like the streamlined process from beginning to finish. As far as like entering the customer,
Hmm.
uh, how do we, what's the recommended way to do that?
Sure.
And also adding products. How do we find a product in I think you referred to it as your golden book.
Hmm. The golden
So
products, yeah.
right. So how to properly use that because certain things that we do. we don't necessarily we can't necessarily find it, and then we just have to enter it manually.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm just like
Yeah.
just like general overview.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. Now, like I said, is the this article right here, your first order, we'll do that. It has screenshots in there. I'll show you real quick, but we'll do it real time in here. So I'll explain how this all works. But this is how to create a quote. It kind of gives you a synopsis of the what a transaction is in the system, and then it
Mhm.
goes through creating a quote and then converting it to a sale or emailing the quote, converting it to a sales order, adding a payment, um, converting or creating the jobs and adding a proof, and then converting to an invoice. So it goes through the whole process here. So, you know, so you don't have to listen to me over and over again. All right. So, how do you, let's just start from the very beginning. If this is your brand new system, we do have the golden products in there. You should have them loaded into your system, and that you might have to make adjustments to the pricing and things. But out of the gate, the pricing is pretty good. So let's just get started. So what we would do is go to add a new line item here, or and then when we click that is well, I said add an item. Okay, just add an item. So we can add anything
Aaron,
from
I
this
don't see that
process.
new that remember you said that link would be there, that new quick quote link. That's not in my platform.
Well, you may have to set that up, and I can show you how that works. Actually, let's do that real quick. Is under settings, we would
Mhm.
go to transactions here.
Do you want me to do that right now?
If you want, I mean, if you're
Okay.
kind of following along with me.
Okay, so hold on 1 second. Let me open up over here. Hey, here. Okay.
So you're in transactions?
I'm opening up the app.
Oh, okay. So log it in. All right.
Give me 1 second. I have it.
Sure.
Sign in.
You know what might be good? Because we might have some other settings that we might want to tweak. Why don't we share your screen? Because then I can
Okay.
create, we can create a
Okay.
dummy quote on your account, and then
Awesome.
you can play with that. I think that might be a better idea. So let me
All
stop my
right.
share.
Mhm.
That way we're
And
looking at the same thing, and you're not trying to replicate what I'm doing.
so share screen, application window. Okay. There we go. Share.
Perfect. So I'll just let you drive for now, but I'll request control in a second here.
All right.
So
No
go
problem.
to the settings icon
Mhm.
on the right hand side,
Settings icon.
and then scroll down to transactions, and then scroll down to the quote section. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. So keep going a little bit right there. Oop, you no, go up. I meant on the bottom visually. Keep going up
Keep going up.
right there.
Right. Right here.
So there's your quick quote. So what you would do is you would select a quick quote customer, and then that button will turn on. So if you want to add a new customer like test, or if this is that the one you want to use?
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
So is that like a dummy customer?
No, actually, it's actually a legit customer.
Well, let's use one that's not a legit. You want to use something like walk-in,
Ah,
or you can use Bob's Pizza Shack. That's a fake one that we started with, or you can use
right.
Ron Robinson, which is you. Um,
Okay.
but keep in mind, moving forward, um, your employees may use it to do quick quotes for people walking in, right? So you want to keep it kind of as a generic customer.
All right. So can we create a new one then
Yeah,
as generic?
yeah,
All right. So customer name would be generic.
yeah. Or you could call it walk-in, or
Oh, there we
quick
go.
quote. You could call it or call in, walk in, whatever you want to call it.
Well,
You can call it Christopher walk in if you want.
okay.
It's my dad joke of the day.
That's that's your dad.
No,
Oh, that's your
no,
son?
no, Christopher Walken,
Oh,
the
Christopher
actor.
Walken. Yes, yes. Oh man, that was
Went
pretty
way over
bad.
your head.
That was pretty bad. It was actually not over my head, but that was pretty bad. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. All right. That's,
That's the way they're
um,
supposed to be. They hit you sideways. You're not ready for them. So
God.
so here, if you want to go ahead and put in your a contact. You can put in yourself, um, you and maybe put in a personal email. The
House.
reason being
Can I put
is
this house
yeah,
house on house sale?
sure. And then put in like an email that you're not going to use for your company, because what you want to do is you want to test the system and send yourself quotes as a customer. And so it's kind of outside of the users that you're going to use in ShopVox. Right.
Uh,
So uh, if
so
you
I can
have
put
like a test account, a test email, or just use your personal email or something like that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And then save customer. I don't think you need much more than that.
Okay.
Yep. There you go.
See. All right. And save customer.
There you go. So from your um, from your quick button now, the green button, we can now add a quick quote. Or actually, we probably have to, oh, you know what? Go to the very bottom. I think you have to hit up or save changes. Yeah, there we go. And
There
then
it is.
there we go.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay,
Perfect.
so I'm gonna request control.
Okay.
Just hit the approve.
Hold on 1 second. Approve.
Okay. Alrighty. So let's just start from our dashboard. This is normally where when you first log in, this will be your dashboard. It'll have your sales, your tasks, your job assignments, things like that. Then we want to add a quote for a quick quote customer. So we will click here, add a quick quote. What this will do is it will create a transaction and timestamp it as the title. So if we were to edit this, you'll see, does it say pages? No, cancel. Oh, it's asking, okay, because when you do a quick quote, it goes straight to creating a first line item. And so it's saying, hey, wait a minute, you haven't created anything yet. But we'll say okay, because I'm kind of navigating away from creating that line item. But see how
Okay.
the quote title is here? Is it
Right.
just timestamps it for today's date right there? You can always edit this and change it, but it helps because when did this guy come in? Oh, he came in about lunchtime right there.
Okay.
So that's what that is. And then the dynamic of what it did is instead of having to hit this green button to create a line item, is it already did that interface. So it was waiting for us to enter an item right here. So let's go over our golden products. And what would be a product that maybe your walk-in customer would purchase from you?
So the other day I did a bookmark.
A
Two
bookmark?
yes, a 2x6 bookmark.
Okay, how would you price that? You kind of did it like as a sign, or it's more of a paper
That's
product?
right, but that's the thing. There wasn't really anything that was in there
Okay,
for me. Really,
okay. So let's just do that. So if you're doing stuff that, well, wait a minute, I don't have like a free form printed product or anything like that. So what we could do is, and maybe did you already have a price in mind for it, or how did you price it? You said $10.
I priced it at like
You said $10 or something.
priced it at like 75 cents per bookmark.
Okay. All right. So we can just write in an item. I call these write-ins. And
And that's what we did, right? That's what we did.
that's exactly what you did. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So then we'll just do it 75 cents. And then how many did they purchase from you? Just one?
100.
Wow. You lost money on that order.
I know. I know. It was
I mean, it cost you $50 just to talk to a customer.
fun.
So, well, that's fine. But anyway, so here's our well, bookmarker. We'll do bookmark. But yeah, to do a write-in, that's what I would do. Or if it were something like if you were to get a sign from, let's say you sold a banner from and you bought it from Science 365.
Mhm.
And so then I gotta, well, I can sell you a banner. I'll need to look up my pricing book, because we're pretending this is a walk-in customer. I'm gonna have to get that in process, and then I'll send you a quote. Okay, Mr. Customer? Sure. So then you'll have to contact Science 65, or if maybe you have another tab that you can do it on the fly, where the customer's not seeing it, of course, you can get that pricing. And then when I have that price, I could do the exact same thing. Is I just add a new line item, and we'll just say 3 by 10, 3 by 10 banner. We can say this is a happy birthday banner. All right. And then we just put in our price. If you want, what you could do is just hit save right there with $0, and then put in what your vendor charged you. So we'll say $150. And then we're going to do a markup. Let's see, markup. Well, I'll just put my unit price. We'll say we're selling it for 300. There's my markup right there. Okay, so it's not letting us. Oh, that's before discount. Okay. Oh, there's the markup. I was just skipping right over it. So we're going to do 100% markup right there. Or you could do an 80% markup, and it will do the math for you right there.
Mhm.
So that's one way you could do it. If you want to use one of our pre-made products, so if we were to add these in here, so our golden products are listed, actually I use this funnel here, is the types that we have are apparel, commercial printing, and then signs are where all the main products are. And then you have these other ones here. You I don't know if these have products inside of them, but if we click on signs, it's kind of a filtering system. It will show you only the sign products right there. So this is all of your signed products. If I were to switch the funnel or filter to um, printing, commercial printing, then it would have your printing products in the system. So it's kind of like, I like to say it's kind of like training wheels because you're not familiar with what's in the system right now. So
Okay.
this is all the ones that we have in there, and I just want to look at just the printing products. So there's these here. Now we do have a printing custom, which might have been that you could use for the bookmark right here.
Mm.
Um, so it was 2 by 8,
By 6.
2 by 6,
Mhm.
and cutting. You can put in cutting time. This one here, it looks like we have a shop minimum, and so it charges 37.50 for that. So, and this is without even choosing any paper. Let's do 100 pound. Actually, this would be probably 20, not 20, 100 pounds probably good, or card stock, maybe
It was 12 point.
12 point. Okay, so we'll put 12 point, and we'll do color. It's just color black and white, and it's still 37.50. You can see what the pricing breakdown is for these products. It will put in all the different materials in here. So really it's, 50 cents or 5 cents for this, 60 cents for the printing. Then you have some labor rates, and that's where it's putting in the cutting time. That's where it's coming up with that 37.50 right there.
Uh,
So the sheets are 0 right now because I think quantity up is we just want one right there. So it's one sheet. So there it is. There's your price. So 65 cents. You were close.
okay.
If we weren't to have, I mean, you were close. We were close to your pricing. If we were to take out the cutting time right
Right.
here, we'll just make the 0
Mm-hmm.
and 0.
Yeah.
Then there you go. 65 cents.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you could do. So this has a lot of options on here. If you're doing folding, what kind of folding you're doing. Then we have these options. These are just repeated 3 times. If you want to add padding, scoring, stapling. If you have other labor rates that you want to do, like if you want to add cutting, there is a cutting time up here. But if you wanted to add like boxing, or whatever, putting a bow on it, as a gift, gift box or something.
Okay.
things like that.
So right now we are currently at 65.
Yep. Mhm.
Okay.
Based on the paper and the printing. And this, well, this is color black and white. So this would be color in the front, black on the back.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
it was two-sided color. So
It
it's
was
four.
two-sided color. Okay, color. Well, it's $1.05 right there. That's pretty
Mm,
good. You would have made a little bit more.
right.
So
But
there's that.
yeah, I do like this, and this is kind of like what I wanted to dive deep into
Hmm.
because you know, you kind of have prices already, and the prices are
Hmm.
pretty competitive across the board,
Yeah.
and it was us a lot of time to go out and find pricing.
Yes. Right. The other thing, when you use products like this from our golden products, before we were just writing things in, right? When you're
Right.
using your gold product, it will put that product name here. But really, what are we selling? We're selling a bookmark. And I guess that's one word, isn't it? It's not two words. So we're selling a bookmark, um, and we'll just say with logo. And if you want to put more description in here, maybe what the message is on here, um, it's funny is this for Christmas, I do like as a hobby, I do woodworking or things in my dad's little shop that he has. It's just a hobby he does. And my wife reads books all the time, and I made her a bookmarker out of a little thin sheet of wood. And
Mhm.
the message I put on there was, would you
Mhm.
like to read a book? So I put that on there. It was cute. I put a little tassel on it and gave it to her. She thought it was cute. So,
Honey, you spelled wood wrong. No,
yeah.
babe.
Well,
Right,
the bookmark was made out of wood. She got the
right.
joke. So anyways, I think this has like I don't know if it requires a bleed, but let's see. We'll close this pricing breakdown and then finish. No, it's not requiring, but you could put a bleed. Now, let me further explain that
Oh,
is
so
this
one bookmark
information
gonna cost off $295
where,
if you scroll down keep going down. Oh, because you have markup
oh,
850%. Okay,
oh,
I was
yeah.
about to say.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes. Well, no, this 295, this is all the line items in there.
Oh,
So
okay.
this banner was 270 right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the no, this is it's 800% because, our paper is not very expensive, and then so it's just that's what it came out to. One thing I wanted to point out with these custom fields right here, these don't have any bearing on pricing. It's just purely informational. But if you want to just add details, if we're adding a bleed to this print, we want to do an 1/8 bleed. And then also you can put finishing notes on here. Again, that's
I'm
where you could put your
corners.
message. This message shows up to the customer. This stuff is kind of a background information.
So this would be mid corners.
Yeah. Yeah. Like rounded corners and things like that. You could do that. So that's how creating the quote works. And again, there's several other products in the system. Like if I wanted to create a banner, there is a banner product in there. I don't know how close it is to your outsourced vendor, but you can always look at that and see. The other thing that you can do is let's just do that is we'll create a banner product. And the other thing is you don't once you become more familiar with your products in here, is you can just start typing. So BAN banner. And it looks like you don't have the banner product in here because it's not showing. Well, let me take out, nope, I don't have the filtering in here. So I guess we don't have the banner product loaded. Do you want to load the banner product real quick?
That's
All right, let's do that. Let's open up our settings, and I'll do this in a new tab so we're not mapping away from our quote here. And that's a little pro tip right there, is you can have multiple tabs open because we're hosted on your web browser basically.
but
You can
what I realize is that you can't have it open on multiple systems, even if you're on the same network.
correct. Yeah, you can't because the reason we do that. If you were in multiple systems, you could be saving in having a conflict with yourself in a sense. If you're maybe
Mhm.
you had the same quote open on two different systems. The other thing is I mean we're here at the office and we're working on stuff, and then I went home and oh man, I forgot to log out at the office, so I can't log in. I'm kind of locked out. So this allows you to log in because what it'll do is it'll log you out from the last location.
Ah, okay.
So
And
that's
all
what
we
it's
really
doing.
have to do is just log back in.
Yep. Yep. All right. So let's go to our golden products list. And then here is the signage list. And you can see the banner was not selected. So we'll add this one.
Can you add flatbed as well?
Yep. Looks like that's already been added to your account. If they're grayed out or muted, you see that the little boxes are muted, is they're in your system. So that's already been added.
Oh, nice.
Let's see if
Okay.
there's anything else. So these two are nice. I don't know if you no, you said you just got
A flatbed,
a
yes.
flatbed. Well,
And I,
you would use the flatbed printer. This is more of if you're applying vinyl to a substrate. This is old school plotter vinyl that when
okay.
you're just doing colored vinyl and then applying it to, in parts and pieces like I've red and yellow and black, and I'm putting
Oh,
it on as layers. This is digitally printed where we're just printing it on our printer and then applying it. But you're using a flatbed, so that's a whole different animal. There's no vinyl required.
actually, okay, so I don't, okay. All right,
You
fair
can if
enough.
you want to. If you have a plotter, you could do that.
Oh,
So say for instance, if you, well, I want to add reflective to a sign
mhm.
and I can't flatbed reflective. It just doesn't have that kind of ink profile. So what you would do is maybe get some reflective vinyl and then you can cut that with your plotter and apply that to the flatbed print or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something to know for next, for later,
Yeah.
if, but,
All right. And then so here's the apparel products. If you do apparel, that's what that is. And then your commercial printing is in here. So there's all of our lists. All
you can
right.
add, what about booklet with BO, and what is,
So the ones with BOM stands for bill of material. And this has click charges and paper runs and things like that inside there.
mhm.
If you want to load these, it's a lot more granular. These other products that just say like brochure, business cards, um, flyers, envelopes, things like that, these are called golden products. Or I'm sorry, they're called grid products. How they look is, let's look at, well, not that one.
The booklet the other day, and I think the booklet would be a good one to have as well in there.
Yeah, yeah, you can always add it. So we'll just click on there and add it.
Uh, brochures, yeah, brochures. We do brochures as well
Mm-hmm.
because we do where we have to size down to a full bleed. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
print out 12 by 18 to size down to an 11 by 17.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Cool.
And
So we'll add those. And you can always come back to this list and look at it and see, well, there's some things that I want to add.
the business
Just
card,
add those there.
standard 2 by 3 business
Mhm.
cards. Okay.
Now
And this
let me show
products.
you the grid products real quick. These are so the one that say BOM are much more granular, but the grid products, if we look at this, it's just basically like a mini spreadsheet right here. Is a box of 1,000 cards is $69 for the 12 point card stock. And this is full color front. Full color front and back. This is what the price would be for 1,000 cards.
uh,
So it's really simple. You're not getting into the minutia of what's the paper stock, what's my click charge, what is, the ink and things like that. It's really
okay.
just a matter of if it's a spreadsheet, you have these are my price points based on the count of the business cards and then the card stock you're using and then the finishing on that card. Are we doing black and white? Are we doing full color front and back? Things like that.
Mhm.
And then this interface is really simple. So it's kind of nice is your employees don't even have to see like a price breakdown grid sheet is all they're doing is you want 1,000 business cards, Mr. Customer. Um, would you like that full color front, nothing on the back. You want it full color both sides. We'll do this one, and then we want to choose the sides or the size is there it is, and then there's your price.
All right.
Yep.
So what if we wanted something like rounded edges or yeah, that'll be something like a rounded edges.
You might have to, I think maybe the BOM product would do that. Did we download that one?
No, we didn't.
We did not. Okay, so let's add it real quick.
I remember seeing it.
This card. So let's add this one. So there is a little bit more setup with these things is you'll probably have to go in there and figure out what your click charge is. So they're here, but what is the price point? Based on your vendor, what they're charging you, you could put that in here. So this is 10 cents and I'm selling it for 20 cents per sheet. you know. So that's what for the color, and then black and white is different. You can always put your paper stocks in here. So it already has these listed, so they're already going to be in the list. And then you can add if you're doing, I don't know why you do the laminate on there, but
Mhm.
then your default items for different charges. So this has rounded corners right there. So
Nice.
how this works is let's do the check pricing. Is so the quantity would be the number of boxes of cards, right? So they're buying them for myself and 3 employees. So we're buying 4 boxes of cards. And
Okay.
number of cards in a box, we'll say they're getting a box of 1,000, and then there it already has it pre-filled with the size of the card. There's a little bit of a bleed. If you want to do overs, for test prints and things, you could do that, like a 1% overs, just to make sure it's coming out. And then if you want to add additional costs, and then packaging costs right here, and then for those charges like rounded corners, well, that's click charge. But let's see, paper stock, laminate. Oh, rounded
So
corners is right here. It's just a checkbox. So we're going to round the corners. All right. And then you would add your click charges. We'll say color, paper stock is we'll do 16 point, and then it'll be matte cards right there. So there's your price. Now, $800. Yeesh.
yeah, that seems
So
excessive
let's
for the
see, what's going on here. All right. So it's using a matte laminate. Let's take that out of there. It looks like it's using a sign material in here. Let's take that out. You probably want to put in your own kind of laminate because that's way too much. You're not going to use that. So that's really what made it so high. But let's see what else chart is costing this. 16
materials.
point 9
249.
sheets. Yeah.
So is that 289 sheets times 4,000 times four?
Yeah. Right there. There's the quantity. This is for 1 set. This is for 4 sets right there. Let's actually close this
So
off.
the one set
Well, let's
seems
see. Let's see what else is going on. Um, it should figure out. It's doing 1,000 cards on the paper. Maybe that's why, is because we're using a small paper. Well, I mean, this is you can also put in your own paper because the business card paper, that's usually a lot larger, right? What size is it? 13 by 9 that you would use?
no, I have 12 by 18
12 by
coated,
18? Okay.
12 by 18 glossy coated.
Yeah. So
So
we'll use
yeah,
use
yep.
that one. That didn't change it much. Yeah. So that's like $358 per set. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, it's $400. $1,000. Jeez. It's 169 sheets. Maybe if we take the bleed off.
Full bleed.
51. Yeah, you might look at your price for sheet. I mean, this is saying you're selling this for $6 a sheet. That might be why. That's pretty pricey material right there. So
Mhm.
$6.25 a sheet. That probably is what's causing, that's what's inflating it really high. And then special colors, we're not doing any special color. The click
Uh,
charge
you have
is,
rush charge. You have one rush charge that's added to it. That's
oh,
150.
machine rush. Yeah, which is not selected. I'm gonna have to talk to our guy about this because that rush charge should only be charging
If it's selected.
if you yeah, if you have it selected. So this is I'm gonna have him adjust this. Yep. Because that should be $0. Like here, special colors is $0. Even it's calculating it, but I haven't added special colors. Rounded corners, we did. Let's see if we uncheck that just to double check. Okay, that came off. But the square cut, so it's charging already for a square cut. And then it's charging for a machine and the click charge. So, well, the machine, this is just a run charge, meaning I'm running it on the machine. So it's a background charge. So these charges can be adjusted. It's not part of there's actually the rush charges is here. There's the rush charge. If it's unchecked, yeah, that's $0. So the machine charge, again, you might have to go through here and figure out what your um, price point is for these because it's basically charging a click charge plus a
Hmm.
machine run charge. So there's your, 20 cents per sheet that you're charging, but there might be a machine lease payment that you've kind of added that into the system. So that's what that is.
Okay.
So how you would make adjustments to that is if you go back to the products. Actually, I meant to go click on the other thing there, but we'll click on it again here. So there's that machine run charge. So you can make changes to this one. Just click edit and then change the price points here.
Okay.
Yep. So you can dial it into what you're pricing in your on your system or what it should
Okay.
be. Yeah. So it is working. It's just a matter of it's charging that by default. And it just needs to be dialed in for your market. And if you're doing laminate, you probably wouldn't be laminating cards. Uh,
Right.
but if you ever did, you can add your laminate. But these laminates are from our sign products typically. So I probably would uncheck these because I don't want to use these. It's going to really inflate my pricing a lot if the employees accidentally collect one of those. So we'll take those off. And then we would need to add if you're going to do laminate on there, add a new laminate material. So currently, since we unchecked that, there won't be any options for lamination right there. It when you uncheck everything, then it gives you the full list within the laminate category. So this is from all of our signs. These are also sign products. The OrGuard and then 3M and Avery. Those are pretty common vinyls manufacturers.
Okay.
So. So there we go. One other nice thing about this little mechanism, once you get it all dialed in, is it has and you don't let's see, do 1218 glossy. And we'll leave the laminate alone. One of the things about this is this little rotate 90 right here is you can actually look and see if it's more efficient. So this is saying it's going to be 42 sheets. But if I rotate it, how many
Let's
sheets
see.
is it? It's 50 sheets. So it's less efficient. But sometimes it might make sense to hit the rotate 90.
Mm.
Yep. So that's a nice little check and balance to figure out what's my best orientation when I'm printing these. So so there are the products. Now let's go back to our quote, which we were talking about. And so those would be the different products that you would be able to add on there. So let's move forward with this. Is so once the quote you have it ready here. Well, this really is for, a walk-in customer, right? So I'm going to tell them, all right, so for all those things that you've ordered, it'll be 295 and 24 cents. How would you like to take care of that today? And so check, cash, or charge. So they're gonna pay you. What you could do from there is I can record a payment. If you have your payment gateway set up, I don't know if you do or not, but if you have the credit card set up, yes, you do. So this is live. So if you put a card number in here and put all the details with the CVV and everything, it will charge that card. And if you do things like, well, we charge a deposit and then you pay the balance on delivery, then you can actually put in 50% here. You can change how much they have to pay right there.
Okay.
If you choose cash, it just has a note field. Maybe you could put in the denominations that they gave you, if you want to track that, and then check. We'll have an interface for the check number right there.
So as far as for card, right?
Hmm.
Um, Side note, like you said, it's there, but at the end of the day, whose account, like who's charging, whose account does it go to?
Yeah, well, you set this up. Let's take a look. We'll go back to the backend settings. The only reason that's there is because you probably set it up maybe in the Express. It's when you set up the payment gateway. So let's look at the settings here, and we'll go to the payment gateway page. You're set up with QuickBooks Online.
Okay.
So it's going to use your rates for that. So basically all we did is we're connecting the dots to your credit card processor on QuickBooks.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. That's
yeah.
good to know.
The other thing that you can do, so let's go back to our quote, is let's say that this is, well, I'm gonna have to do some investigating on this banner product here. I'll get back to you and I'll send you a quote. How's that, Mr. Customer? Sure. So once you've called Science 365 and gotten the price for that and put that in there, I can email this to them. When I
Right,
email it, you also have that option to include the payment link
right.
right there. So that's the other place that you could send it to them via email. The other thing too is a lot of people have their credit cards stored on their phones, right? As you pay, like Amazon, you pay for stuff on your phone. So you have your credit card in your wallet if you have an iPhone or on Android, whatever that might be. So
Mhm.
if they're standing in front of you, let me go ahead and send this to you. What is your email address? And so you would put that in here. Well, I don't have it, because this is my walk-in customer. So I can add them as a new contact, which is kind of nice because now I'm capturing their data, right?
Mhm.
So I get their name, their email address, and then from there I could email it to them. And so I've just emailed this to you. You should have this in you should see it on your phone if you have it on your phone. So the tech savvy customers is they could just go in there and then click that and then hit the pay with their wallet. Boom, they're done.
Okay. But there's not like a credit card, like say for instance, if I want to hook up a credit card capturing machine, there's not a way to connect that with the system, correct?
No, we don't have a terminal or anything like that.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Okay, no problem.
yeah, yeah. So with that is you could just manually enter it, or you can have them email it to them and have them just process it on their phone, or if they have a tablet or whatever. So
Okay,
yep. But if you're recording it, you would have to ask them for their card, of course, and please give me a minute, Mr. Customer. Let me get this in here because we're not swiping it, as I have to type the information in. Yep.
now what if I wanted to swipe it on my, because this is a UPS store and we have our credit card terminal. And
Hmm.
so, what if I wanted to like do I guess an external payment? Is there an option for that? Because
Yeah.
what
So
what I've done is I just said cash. I
right.
I just used cash.
Yeah. So yeah, if you do cash, on like you on your other order, you did cash and then you process it on your terminal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great way to do it because you're recording the payment, and then if you do cash here, so if I record a payment and then say cash, choose the
Mm-hmm.
cash method, then I would put in the note, paid on terminal,
Mm-hmm.
and then auth number, whatever that was on the receipt.
Okay.
You could do that. Then what you would do, so if I save this payment in here, you don't want to have that duplicate or a duplication of that payment record go into your QuickBooks, right?
Oh,
So what you would do is if we go to related here, we should see, oh, it's asking me, yes, okay, because I had that last line item. So there's our payment. What we could do, well, let me show you this real quick, is under the post to accounting. Oh, this isn't finished yet. You need to fill in these fields here for this to sync across to QuickBooks. You're connected to QuickBooks, because you've already added your chart of accounts items. You just need to fill in these things. This is how ShopVox talks to QuickBooks, and so we need to have these accounts filled in.
okay.
But once you do that, you're going to see those payment records and the invoices on this page, on the post to accounting page. But you don't want that payment to go across, right? So if we look at this payment here, because it's not real, they didn't give us cash, they used the terminal, right? So what you would do is you see how this says it's unposted. This is the accounting mechanism that tells it has it been sent over to QuickBooks. Is not, because it's marked as unposted. Once you sync it across, then it will mark this as posted. But again, this is kind of a ghost payment. We're just doing this as records so that we have a um, transparency, or we have a clear record that yes, they did pay us. So what we would do is we would mark this as posted. So then it changes the status here to posted. So effectively what that did is it took it off of my posting list under the sync page.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're doing that where you're using your terminal and you have a account, that you're just going to do cash, then I would do it like that.
So you have to go into the sale itself
Mm-hmm.
and
Record a payment as either cash. The other thing you could do is you can create a payment method. Let's do that real quick. Since this might be common because again, you're running a retail store and you're probably using your point of sale for a lot of your transactions, but for your specific orders that you're running through ShopBox, you want to make sure, even though you're using the terminal to capture the payment, is you want to have records here. So
right.
with that being said, let's look in accounting here. And you're going to have I'm going to add a payment method. So you have these three, right? Uh, I want to add a new one that we would call, um, we'll just call it terminal. And then you'll just have to explain this to all the team.
Or
Uh,
POS.
Terminal
Uh,
payment. Yeah,
POS.
yeah. Terminal POS.
Or we can just leave it as POS. MPOS payment. Oh, yes. Capital M. Can I type it?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. MPO, because that's what we know it.
Okay.
Payment.
Then what we're going to do is our type. We're not going to use credit card because if you use credit card, it will use that interface. So we don't want to use credit card. What we want to do is other right here, is we'll choose other because it's a fake payment basically is what we're doing. It's
Mhm.
just a record of the payment. So if we go back here and we'll go back to this quote, and I don't think it's going to allow me to make another payment. No. But what I could do is, let's do this real quick, is I'll copy this line item. It's going to give me another 75-cent balance. Now I can add a new payment. So what I would do here is you could use
Yeah.
MPOS, and then
Mm-hmm.
you could put in the info ID. This might be the receipt number.
Seat number.
Yep. Yes, you would put that there, and
Mhm.
we're paying 82 cents. There you go.
Now, would I still have to go back into related and
Yes,
take it from post, remove it from posted?
correct. Correct. Yep. So we would mark this as posted. Let's come here, go to the blue button and mark
Mhm.
as posted.
Okay. Now, is there a batch way to do that? Meaning that how often does it post and does it do it by automatically?
No, so what happens is you will have on your sync page is you'll have your list of there'll be four different tabs. It'll have invoices, purchase orders, payments, and credit memos on that screen. And then you'll just go to each tab and then post all. And we can go over that in another meeting once you get
Okay.
it mapped, which by the way, that getting started article that I shared with you, uh, has in there how to connect to QuickBooks, and it goes to the instructions on how to do the mapping and things like that.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So use that getting started article to really dial in things. So,
Okay.
all right. The next step, let's go back to here. Normally what I would do is if they said yes, like, yeah, let's move forward, it's $295. Well, that's actually a little bit more now, 296. They're ready to, they'll say yes, they're standing right there. Yes, I need this. This is for important for a birthday this weekend. And so, of course, they're probably not going to get it this weekend if I have to order it. But um, so what I would do is you could capture the payment, or before you do that, is you can convert it to a sales order. And the reason why we have sales order, now you're probably familiar, well, in your point of sale, you probably have I don't know if you do quoting in there or not, but you just have really just a transaction. It's just called an invoice, right?
Mhm.
We have this mechanism called sales order, which gives you a list of your orders that you're processing because it's going to take time to make this banner, right? These other things we can probably do in a few minutes. You come back after lunch and we can have it
Mhm.
ready for you. But the banner is going to take us a couple days. So we would convert this to a sales order. And what that does is it gives you a semblance of all the stuff that you have in production or in the works. So so when you convert to a sales order, it requires a due date. So this is what we're promising it to the customer. So we should have this to you in 2 weeks, right there, because that banner is going to take a bit to get processed and then shipped to us. Plus, we have to do, maybe our designer is going to do a mock-up design that they have to approve. So we need to go through that process as well. So we'll convert this to a sales order. The other thing is, if you want, do you like this formatting with Monday 1st?
Um, we can change it
Yep, we can change it.
because I'd rather change it to Sunday first.
Sunday. Yeah, I agree. It's my preference as well. So let's fix that. Let's go to, I think it's transactions. No, it's not transactions. I think it's account. Under account, currency, date and time. Here we go. Week to start on. We can start from Friday if we want. That'll really confuse everybody. All right, so this is set to Sunday now, and you are welcome. Let's refresh this so that yeah, we can look at that. There you go. Now it's normal.
Okay.
All right. So What we've done is we converted it from a quote to a sales order. It retained that same title. Again, you can change that or totally remove it if you want. Um, because that actually will print on the invoice, etc. So when you print this, it kind of gives them it'll give them a timestamp of when they walked in and we process this. So if we save this
Mhm.
PDF and we open it, as soon as it loads here, see that title right there.
Okay.
So you can edit it, change it to maybe change it to birthday birthday package prints or something. Since we're doing a happy birthday banner, or just call it you know whatever printing products, or you could just make it blank. And you would do that by going into edit and then change this title, or just delete it altogether right there.
Okay.
Yep. Then that won't be a title at the top. It's gone. All right, so creating the job. So from here, we've got all these things that are in the works, right? That we need to produce. So we can create jobs. Now, I don't know, we had talked when we did our demo, is some of these things is just going to run internally that maybe we're not going to manage on this system. I don't know. So you'll have to make those decisions. But you have two options, is I can make a job for each one of these. This is one sales order for a customer, and I can make these individual jobs because they might have different timelines, or I can combine them. So if you
Right.
wanted to, the bookmark, this other bookmark, and the business cards, or bookmark with logo. So these are all bookmarks.
Mhm.
So these are all going to be the same thing, right? So I can run those really quickly through my printer. I'm just going to create one job out of this one. So we'll add this as a job. It's going to ask us for a status. We have not updated. Now, do you have any jobs in your job board currently?
Yeah, we've created a couple.
Okay. Are they, I don't want to use status. I mean, we can use statuses, but um, let's go to our jobs here on another tab. I would recommend. Now, are these live that we're processing these for real life customers?
The only one that's not is the first one, Rush. But
This one? Okay.
yeah, but the Bind Igor, that's completed.
Okay.
That and this is where I messed up. I created a job for each individual.
Yeah. Instead of
Right.
combining it, which might be fine because they have different timelines, but like the bookbinding is
It
different.
was the same thing. I just
Oh,
messed
it
up.
was all just one, it was just different elements for that book. I see. Yeah, because you have the cover, binding,
Mhm.
the paper. Okay. Yeah, or this brochures. Gotcha. So if it's finished, I would mark them as completed, get them off of your job board. The
And how
reason
do we
to what you would do is in here, change the status to instead of invoice is you want to mark it as completed. That takes it off of the job board. You've already invoiced it, right? So it shows an invoice here. I would just
yeah,
mark it as completed.
okay.
Yep.
And it
So
comes off of the job board.
comes off the job board. Yep. So that's gone. So that disappeared. So you just go through these. The reason I'm saying that is because you're using the old process. Let's go in here and look at this job. Is you're using this thing called statuses, and
Okay.
it's not as detailed as our workflow templates.
Right, that's what you were
Uh,
telling me about, that the pro.
right. Yeah, the Pro has the workflow templates. And before we can change that in your settings, so if we go here
Mhm.
to settings and we'll go down to workflow. Oops, went too far. Workflow. Okay, welcome to workflow settings. From here, you can add, okay, so he's created a little walkthrough on here. We're using job statuses. This is okay, so this is actually for the express version. So that's where you have job statuses and tags. We're going to use the workflow templates, which is much more detailed. But to upgrade to that, now this is a free upgrade, but to
Mhm.
upgrade it is we cannot have any jobs on our job board. So all those jobs have to be either completed or voided.
Which they are.
Yeah. Okay. So you just have to complete them, mark them as
But the,
completed or void them, and then
but
you
the
can click
recording,
here and
the
upgrade.
recording of the job is fine, correct?
I'm sorry?
The recording of the jobs.
Right. Yeah. Is you're just saying that you're making it since they're invoiced, I would just mark them as completed.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
So we can do all of that.
Yeah. So I would go through that process. We won't do it right now. I need to get to another meeting here soon. So
Which one? The changing to the could we convert it and our next call we can go over it in detail so I can at least start using it now?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
So
because I actually have a hard out soon as well.
right. So what later today, what I would recommend you do is come on your job board and then just go through each one of these and then just mark them as completed. Just come over here, mark as completed, go through that process because you got 7 of them. It won't take you but a minute or two.
Okay.
So go through each one of them and then you can go to settings. You'll go to workflow down at the bottom. This is alphabetical. I guess it's loading here. So you go to workflow and then you'll go here to click here to upgrade.
Okay.
And if it's 0 jobs, then it'll say you ready to go to workflow? Yes. So then
Okay.
you'll have a button there to confirm, and then
Okay.
it will switch out from the statuses and you'll have workflow. And
Okay.
it takes a couple of minutes, but it should load in some pre-made workflow templates.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then, so what I'll do is once this recording is processed, it takes Zoom a few minutes to process. So I'll probably send it to you later this afternoon or maybe early evening today. And I'll send you the recording link and I'll also send you my calendar so that you can book our next session.
Okay.
And then I've already shared the spreadsheet with you. But if you want to start um, going through that checklist. And if when you have questions, write down some notes and things or questions, and then we can tackle whatever next topics you have on our
Okay.
next meeting.
Okay. I'm excited.
All righty. Well,
All
great.
right.
Yeah, I hope this works out for you. I know it's going to be you've got a dual process going on, but hopefully this will really help with managing your sign side of things.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, man. Well, it was
All
great
right,
talking to you,
Aaron.
Ron.
It was great talking to you as well.
Yeah.
And we will speak at your next at our next meeting.
Yeah. Have a
All
great
right.
weekend.
Thanks. You too.
All right, bye.